Hey guys, my name is Chris and I'm a drummer here in Manchester. Firstly, let me take the first opportunity I presented myself with, this one, to personally welcome you to my channel and thank you for the amazing support you've all shown me so far. First of all, I wanted to go on a quick explanatory rant explaining why I'm here talking to a camera rather than in my usual place behind the kit, hitting things specially crafted for such brutality. But for those of you who couldn't care less, I will pop a timestamp somewhere nice and obvious so you can skip ahead to the reason you probably clicked on this video in the first place. So this is the aforementioned first opportunity because, as most of you who are already subscribers are probably aware of, when I appear in my own videos on YouTube, I normally do it sitting behind the kit, recording drum covers and keeping my mouth pretty tightly shut. This is quite obviously something a little different. Those of you who have seen the covers might realize that I tend to have gone down the quality over quantity route because I choose to make high quality covers rather than just churn out weekly ones from my home studio here, where more than anything the sound quality would fall through the floor. The production process for my videos is one that takes a little time and more than a little money, so churning out regular content is a little impractical. Whilst I'm not stopping making those covers, that isn't what this is, I thought I'd find a way to avoid those long periods of stagnation on my channel that come about from only releasing drum covers by making a drum lesson. To keep it at least slightly relatable to what I already do on here, I'll be walking you guys through one of the fills from one of my covers. That one, which happened somewhere around the 1:13 mark of my cover of The Man by Taylor Swift. Now, obviously I'm aware of the fact that unlike the covers, this video doesn't exactly have the potential to reach out to everyone with the same entertainment value. But to those non-drummers, firstly, I promise that this isn't going to become too much of the new norm. And secondly, question your life choices thus far and why picking up a pair of sticks hasn't yet made it to that list. Right, no more life stories, let's dive straight into it. Okay, so this fill is in 16th note triplets. So we take our quarter note pulse, which for this song is 110 BPM. We subdivide it into 8th notes, and then we subdivide those 8th notes into groups of 3, giving us a group of 6 for every quarter note pulse, our 16th note triplets. This fill is 2 bars long, so that gives us 48 notes to learn. But of course, we're not going to learn 48 individual notes, one at a time. That would be silly. We're going to break the 48 down into easy to remember patterns and then stick them back to back. The first is a 6-stroke roll, a pattern of 6 that hopefully most people watching this video are already aware of. If not, and this goes for all the individual patterns that make up this 2-bar fill, go away and practice these stick-ins as they are, no fancy orchestrations, until you're fully comfortable with them. The process of throwing them all together into one long chop will then be an awful lot easier. The 6-stroke roll is right, left, left, right, right, left. Play the 16th note triplets at 60 BPM for now. It should sound something like this. Now, to adhere to the fill I play in the cover, we're going to introduce the orchestrations I played there. In this case, that means only one change from what we just did, and that is to bring the first right, that first accented right, up to the crash with a bass drum underneath it. Let's have a look at this with a metronome and a couple of practice tempos before we aim for that goal of 110. Our next pattern is a pattern of 9, but still being played in that 6-note subdivision, we have a pattern that doesn't fit with the pulse. Rather than loop round every beat or every 6 hits, this pattern now loops around every 1.5 beats, which is what gives the fill that displaced feel. If you're not used to playing patterns that consist of a number of hits that differ from the number or the subdivision that you're playing in, or aren't a multiple of it, then this can be a little tricky to get your head around at first and will probably be the hardest part of this fill. But it's worth spending a little time getting comfortable with the concept because this is where that rather daunting figure of 48 notes will shrink down to something much more doable. We loop this 9-note pattern 4 times. By learning this one pattern, you're getting the next 36 notes of the fill out the way. The pattern is right, left, left, kick, kick, left, right, left, left. Quick disclaimer, I play with a double pedal setup and fully exploit the fact that I can invoke my left foot on the second of those kick drums, especially at the faster tempos. It's completely up to you if you want to play them with a single pedal, or maybe you only have the option of playing with a single pedal. Either way is fine. Let's do it. Once that is comfortable though, let's mess with the orchestrations to bring it in line with what I played. It'll look something like this. Here we've taken the left and right on hits 6 and 7 of that pattern, and we've moved them onto the floor tom and the hi-hat. The left being on the floor tom followed by the right on the hi-hat means we've got a situation where our limbs need to cross over to make this happen, giving the fill that show-off look, which, as anyone will tell you, is an essential ingredient when you're mixing together a drum cover for YouTube. It's also this, combined with that 9/6 vibe that we've got going on, that I think qualifies this as an advanced fill. If you agree, sweet. If not, well, it made for a lovely clickbaity title, so no regrets. Let's have a look at what this looks like at the same tempos as before. Now let's have a look at how this fill fits in context. We come straight out of our 6-stroke roll into the pattern of 9, which after we've looped it 3 times, takes us up to and through beat 3 of bar 2. Let's give the entire phrase up until that point a little playthrough and see what we got. So now we've only got beat 4, or 6 more hits left to worry about. This is easily the simplest part of the entire phrase, so if you've gotten this far, then I have every confidence that you'll be able to round this baby off. We have 4 single strokes in the hand, followed by 2 kick drums. And that's it. We'll play the hands moving down the toms, followed by the 2 kicks on the bass drum, and we're done. Given its relative simplicity, let's dive into the deep end and see how this sounds at 90 BPM with those final orchestrations. All that's left to do to finalize all this is to transition into that roll down the toms from where we left off beforehand. For the sake of giving it that feeling of finality, we will roll over to beat 1 of the next bar, crashing the bass drum. Let's hear how it sounds at 60, 90, and then at full speed. Just a quick note for those who only have a single pedal that we mentioned before. Coming into beat 1 of the next bar gives us 3 kicks in a row. 2 is fine, but played as 16th note triplets at 110 BPM, 3 kick drums, I imagine that'll be a challenge for anyone who can admit to being human. So just shake up the sticking. There's no rules here. Maybe switch to right, left, right, left, right kick. So with that following kick on the 1 of the next bar, you're back to only having to worry about 2. Or just do straight singles, all the way around the kit, right, left, right, left, right, left. That'll sound solid too. And that's it, guys. I'll be back recording covers ASAP, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this little change of scenery. If you did enjoy the video, then remember to hit that like button below. The idea of an algorithm is pretty intuitive to most people these days, so you probably don't need me to tell you how much it'll help draw that algorithm's attention to this video, and therefore how much I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button too if you haven't already, because why not? And I'll leave you in peace. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.